What's up, y'all? You're watching Union Minded. I'm your host, Eric, and today I'd like to talk to you about what it is, once again, to be a union member, especially in the IBEW. But larger than in the IBEW, overall, what does it mean to be a union member? We're so often trained to be the best craftspeople. The NJATC does a great job of training really great electrical installers, electricians for construction sites, electricians for our contractors to hire and use to put in the highest quality installations. But what the JATC doesn't do well, and it's because of the partnership that the IBEW has with NECA, what the JATC does not do well is teach apprentices what it is to be a union member. We learn electrical theory, we learn motor controls, we learn blueprint reading, we learn pipe bending. All of these skills that we need to be good electricians, rightly so. But we don't get the education and training in the significance of being a union member. And so a lot of times we're absent in the fight for working people, for working rights, for a higher and higher standard of living. A lot of times we're absent because we take on this me attitude. You know, it's out there, it's pervasive. It's a me society. And so of course it's everywhere. But that's the thing about being in a union. It's not supposed to be about me. It's supposed to be about the we. So where does that training come from? Ideally, the way it's supposed to come about by design is journeymen on the job sites. But what happens over time when through the apprenticeship you're training electricians and then they get to be journey people and the contractor has their hooks in them and they get corporatized? Over time, that's the attitude that becomes pervasive. That's the attitude that becomes the norm. And then it becomes rare when you view your role in the labor movement as vital and key. Your role at work is important, don't get me wrong. You have to be a quality installer, you have to be safety conscious, all of that stuff. You have to make sure you do everything up to code and up to standards and workmanlike conditions, all of that stuff. Your work is important. As important is your role in the union movement. Now, I don't blame folks that are out there in the workforce. It's hard. If you've grown up in this society, it's hard to gain the respect and admiration for what the labor movement has done for all of us. It's hard to gain real appreciation for that if you're just growing up in this society, because you're not going to learn it in school. Not really. You could learn it in college if you choose to, but here's the kicker. You're not going to get that history and that inspiration from the JATC either. Yeah, they'll give you a lesson on Henry Miller and the formation of the IBEW, and they'll give you a lesson on the formation of NECA. But that's it. You're talking about 5 years of training, and you get 2 lessons on labor history, and very narrow, particular lessons. And so where do you get that appreciation? It has to come from within, but we have to teach each other. And I think that's where we fail, at least institutionally. I think that's where we fail, because we don't make it a priority to teach our members about labor history, about the fight, about how much the circumstances of today mirror, and in a lot of ways are worse than what they were when labor unions were created. I say that often because it's so true. Just look at the income inequality levels. But you're not going to hear this stuff. You're not going to hear this stuff from elected representatives. Not in a meaningful way, and I think that's where we fail institutionally. I think we could be doing so much more to educate our members and spark that interest in the fight that is ongoing, because whether you know it or not, the fight is ongoing. The fight for rights, wages, better living conditions, better education, that fight, all of that is all labor related, and it's ongoing. I hope that my little videos here spark a little bit of interest. Maybe you pick up a book. Maybe you talk to one of your mentors at work. I was blessed, man. I came in Miami early on. That's when I learned about the union, and my mentor was all about the movement. He talked about organizing. He talked about talking to people and teaching them about labor movement and organizing and getting involved, and he was all about it. And thankfully, that was the seeds that were sowed early on in my career, and they never left. That idea that we're in a fight has never left me. And I hope these little videos spark that interest in you. And I hope you decide to take ownership of this movement. And together we talk to everybody around us, and we get a consensus, and we figure out what we're going to do, and we move forward as a team instead of individuals looking out for our own and letting our siblings fall to the wayside with a different tiered system of employment and all kinds of other crap that goes on. We can do better. But it takes all of us. It's not an I thing, it's a we thing. Anyway, I just wanted to have a conversation with you guys, all right? My name's Eric. You're watching Union Minded. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. Drop some comments, all of that. And remember, the fight's not left and right, man. It's up and down. Always has been. It's going to take class solidarity to win always. Each one teach one. Get out there and reach one. And there can be no union without you and I front and center. Peace.